So it is 9:50 p.m. on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. I'm trying to sleep. I've been awake since 3:30 this morning because the perving creeping psychopath who likes to access the area in and around Unit 78 started using her directed energy device on me Saturday evening and did not stop using that directed energy device on me throughout the last 3 days. And it has been preventing me from sleeping for more than a few hours at a time. It is extremely intense, painful, and debilitating, and it causes all kind of downstream health problems. And the same person, Irizarry, the psychotrash psychopath who Greenville has repeatedly referred to as their surveillance expert, she is also right now propagating sickening amounts of cigar and marijuana smoke into my living space. And it seems to be coming from the bathroom of 78 because that's where all the smoke and fumes are constantly coming from. And I've had to open this window approximately 2 feet just to get some fresh air in here and get rid of the stench. It literally smells like cigars. It's a really nasty, gritty odor. And I'm trying to sleep. Do you see how wide this window is open? It's 18 degrees outside right now with a real feel of 7 because it's windy. There's also mice that live on the outside of the building that come into your unit as soon as you open the window. But I have to get rid of these fumes that Irizarry, the psychotrash psychopath, is deliberately propagating into this unit in intense and sickening amounts right now. And I know it's her because she's also using a directed energy device to electronically assault me while I'm lying on this bed right now trying to sleep. And I've been lying on this bed trying to sleep for the last hour or so, hour and a half, since around 8:30. Again, I've been awake since 3:30 this morning. Only had about 3 hours of sleep thanks to Irizarry's nonstop use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me while I lie on my bed. The smoke and the fumes from Irizarry's whatever it is that she uses to propagate these sickening amounts of smoke and fumes are affecting my voice. And in order to get any kind of fresh air, be able to breathe properly in this unit right now, I have to keep the window open. Again, it is around 9:50 p.m. on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. And it is approximately 18 degrees right now in Boston with a real feel of 7. It is absolutely frigid out there. There's also no heat in this unit. There has not been any heat in this unit since 9 o'clock this morning when maintenance said they started working on the boilers in the building, and apparently they haven't fixed the boilers because there's no heat and no hot water. I've been trying to run the water intermittently throughout the evening to get some hot water coming out of that tap, and there's absolutely no hot water. That water is glacial, and if you try to wash your hands under it, within 30 seconds, your fingers go numb. So it's time to call inspectional services if this goes on for more than a few hours into the morning. You can't live in this building. I mean, there's no heat, there's no hot water. There's a psychopath who deliberately propagates sickening amounts of cigar smoke into this living space, forcing me to keep this window open, and the smoke is the thickest around the windows, meaning it's coming from the bathroom of 78 or the area around the bathroom of 78. And I can't sleep. I mean, I'm lying here with my blanket. I've been awake all day. I ran around all afternoon, went downtown, came here, went back downtown, went to the store at like 6 o'clock this morning, started cleaning my place at 4:30. Texted and communicated with not just the maintenance manager of this building, but the office staff, paid $300 to the office staff in cash in person. I mean, it's just been a really busy day, and I didn't stop until 5:30, 6 p.m. And that's when the remote electronic assaults started happening from the psychotrash psychopath Jasmine Irizarry, again, who the Greenville Group have repeatedly referred to as their surveillance expert. They clearly seem to think that using surveillance devices in my unit is perfectly legal. And if they have somehow managed to get law enforcement to okay it, they have had to lie through their teeth to get that to happen, because there's no reason for anybody to be using surveillance devices in my unit. I'm not an activist, unlike the BLM psychotrash psychopaths who are in all the adjacent units to mine. That's funny. They seem to think that I am what they actually are. I don't harass people. I don't assault people. I don't go anywhere near these pieces of shit. I stay the hell away from them. If I see them coming towards me, I go in the other direction. I do not ever approach these pieces of shit. Ever. Ever. They come at me, and then if they come at me, then I have the right to play defense. But do I ever go near them? Absolutely not. If I see them anywhere, I walk in the other direction. I cross the street. I don't go into the same doorway. I wait for them to propagate, like to leave the area before going in, etc. It's been going on for 10 years, and they keep coming at me because they seem to think I owe them something. I don't, and they're very mad about that. There's also been some banging and thudding noises from behind the wall of Unit 88, indicating that, as I have suspected for the last few days, there's somebody in that unit. And it is probably the same piece of shit who's lived in that unit for 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, so that smoke literally sticks in my throat, and it always makes me cough. When you don't smoke and somebody is literally shoving smoke down your throat, it causes an immediate coughing reflex. You can't help it. I just had to leave a voicemail for the Greenville group just 5 minutes ago, because over the last 25 minutes while I've been lying here trying to sleep with my cozy blanket, trying to be comfortable and get some rest after only having had 3 hours of sleep last night, there's been somebody making thudding and banging noises directly behind that wall of Unit 88. And they've also been dropping items that are making rattling noises against the floor of Unit 88. This is not coming from one floor below. It is not some vague, thudding noise from one of the units below this one or below 88. It is coming from directly against the wall of Unit 88. And earlier this evening, as I was sitting at my table having dinner and I put the spoon in my mouth, some very mentally disturbed piece of shit directly against the wall of 88 made 2 very loud slamming noises right over by the door of Unit 88 against the wall to my unit. That is Mr. DaCosta. He's still in that unit. He's mentally disturbed. He's a violent piece of shit. He's a wanking pervert. Total reject. Oh, now Irizarry is getting all jiggy with her. Oh my God. So, I think that they're doing this together. I mean, there's so much smoke and fumes coming from Unit 78 right now, and there's been somebody making thudding and banging noises directly against the wall of my unit from inside Unit 88. Again, it is not coming from downstairs. This is right against that wall, right over by the door. That happened. It's been going on all evening. So Mr. DaCosta is still in 88. I'm not sure why he's in Unit 88. I mean, he's violently pounded on my door to the point where he actually damaged the door and maintenance had to come up and fix that door. And then he threatened to kill me, even though I was standing at my sink talking on my phone when he came to my door claiming he could hear me talking about him and that I was calling him fat. Really? There's 2 inches of soundproofing foam against that wall and my door was closed and locked. He's mentally disturbed if he thinks that he could hear me talking to him. I have the right to say things in the privacy of my unit. I have the right to say things to my phone when I'm walking down the hall. None of it has anything to do with that fat, perving piece of shit. But if he wants it to, then, his psychotic behavior is on him, not on me. So again, I just left a voicemail for the Greenville group because Mr. DaCosta has been making some rattling noises against that wall, violent slamming and banging at around 6 p.m. when I was sitting at my table, putting a spoon in my mouth. And that's the kind of thing he did throughout the entire time that he lived in that unit. So it's probably him, right? If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and reminds you of the same duck that lived in that unit for 2.5 years, it's probably the same duck, right? The smoke and fumes are just sickening. I can't even breathe properly right now. I mean, this is insane. There's somebody deliberately filling this entire unit with sickening cigar smoke. And I have the window wide open and it is, 18 degrees with a real feel of 7. No hot water and no heat in this unit. Wow. I am not getting what I'm paying for. I just paid $300 to the office in person in cash. Am I getting what I'm paying for? Absolutely not. I have the right to lie on my bed in whatever position I want. I can lie on my bed buck naked if I want to. It's my right. And these people do not have the right to perv and creep all over what I do in the privacy of this unit and then get violent and aggressive when whatever it is that I happen to be doing or not doing or saying or not saying triggers their psychotic, mentally disturbed, asswipe brains. They're hideous pieces of shit. And unfortunately, Greenville chooses to keep them in all of the adjacent units to mine. The smoke is just sickening right now, and that's obviously deliberate. And the pounding and slamming against that wall throughout the evening, along with what sounds like Mr. DaCosta dropping a bunch of golf balls against the bare floor directly behind that wall. So it literally sounds like somebody's dropping golf balls on my floor. That's how close it is, because it's right on the other side of that floor. He's doxing his own presence in Unit 88. So now it's time to call the Greenville group and take them to court. I mean, I've already called them and left them a voicemail. But there's definitely not just Mr. DaCosta getting disruptive, but constant sickening cigar smoke from Irizarry, the psychopath. Quote, surveillance expert that Mr. Oleg Iliseyev, the property manager, has bragged about so many times in terms of her cybercrime abilities and how she can hack into anything and she can get into anything and take care of anything. And Irizarry herself has bragged on social media that she is a structural engineer who gets paid to take care of problems, meaning make them go away, not resolve them, but make them go away. I've been informed by people who seem to know what goes on in this building that Irizarry is a paid professional harasser, and that would make a lot of sense because this kind of smoke and fumes that are this thick going on for hours and hours, it's not one person smoking one cigarette or smoking one cigar. It's somebody who's deliberately using some type of propagation device to blow sickening smoke and fumes into this unit. Oh no. And then now I just heard something rattling. There's mice in here. There's mice coming in through the window. So now I have to make the choice between keeping the window open to be able to breathe or having mice in my unit coming in through the open window because there's no screen. Gee, what would you do? Would you keep the window open so you can breathe and not have to inhale toxic smoke from God knows where it's coming from, but that's filling your unit while you're lying here trying to sleep, and let the mice come in? Or would you close the window and keep the mice out? But they're probably already in here anyway, so I might as well just keep the window open. And it's freezing and there's no heat in this unit. So what a treat. Yeah, my $300 I'm really getting my $300 worth right now.